Hey guys, Tara here, bringing you a 1v1 today. We are on Crossing in the Woods. For today, spawning in the south, we have RoyalHants as OKW, and his loadout is Breakthrough, Special Operations, and Luftwaffe Ground Forces. Currently rank 27, I think, is OKW. Might be a bit higher than that. Somewhere around there, in the 20s. Special offensive in the north is Tobis as US Forces, who has recon support, airborne, and infantry company currently rank 11 as US Forces. I believe he's trying to get in fighting form for GCS. He's been clocking quite a few games. So we have a Kubel from RoyalHants, I think. Crossing in the Woods is one of the maps that the Kubel makes sense on. It's reasonably large. You have like this nice road down the center which you can go and harass your opponent's cut off with. So yeah, probably this, Angerville, maybe one or two others in the order map rotation where the Kubel makes sense. So we're seeing some sandbags going down on the cutoff here by RoyalHants. Placing him in a position where, you know, only maybe two models will be able to use that. Tobis, if he wants to harass that cutoff, and he got his troops in position. Both of these two crossing the river to get their fuel. There was one interesting thing that when they changed the spawns for the single player version, I thought that they would leave the spawn like closest to the side, but they actually end up putting them right in the middle. It does leave both sides as available options. Anyway, we've just seen capping so far this match. First engagement really right here. Opportunities favoured these long-range engagements. We've got student pioneers coming in on the flank as well. Kubel getting involved against these riflemen over here. Student pioneers close in, force the retreat. These riflemen now look to protect the cutoff, perhaps. No, it's not even going after the cutoff. I mean, I suppose it's only going to cut off one sector at the moment, isn't it? So, not too much to be gained. But this is actually a pretty good start for RoyalHants. I mean, for Tobis, it can be tricky sometimes to navigate the early game against OKW, and he's getting through it pretty reasonably. I feel like maybe these Volksgrenadiers have been kind of camped around the middle, haven't been that active. So perhaps RoyalHants not quite converting on the usual strong early game start for OKW here. It's not like he's doing badly by any means, but usually the advantage is a little bit larger than this. Especially if you're going for a unit like a Kubel as well, you really want to have a strong start because this drops off pretty badly as the game goes on.
Secure the vehicle. Location set. Incoming fire!
Rifleman all on low health here. Looks like he's about to lose a lot of manpower. We have the lieutenant for Tobis now, however. Rifleman coming in on the flank here. Should allow him to win this engagement. No, he's thinking about throwing the grenade, cancelled it, just realised the engagement was well and truly lost at that point. Just to disengage. Far too much firepower over there. So pretty good stuff for Tobis here, I feel. Held on to pretty much half the map. Hasn't really lost like a severe amount of VPs either, so like for a map like this, he's actually off to a pretty good start. This is typically one of the most vetoed maps as US Forces.
Heavy truck, ready for orders.
Incendiary grenade thrown out there. The M20 out here doing some damage. But we do also have a flak half track close to completion now for RoyalHants.
The enemy is overrunning one of our capture points.
20 being on the field is going to limit the Kubel's activity though. 50 cal on this does shred the Kubel pretty quickly. Making use of the Ray tactics here. Capping with his M20. Capping over here with his lieutenant as well. So we're going to be seeing recon support. Tobis, one of the meta commanders for sure. Yeah, interesting to see him make use of the Ray tactics early. But look how quickly that neutralizes territory. That is very, very fast. And the ability is very long as well.
A capture point is under attack.
Oh, when he gets the neutralize on the VP as well, before the ability runs out. So he got a lot of territory with that. Captured this, neutralized this, captured both these sectors with his lieutenant. And when using these kind of abilities, it's like, well, spending 40 munitions, but am I gaining 40 munitions worth of territory control? It's kind of similar to how Fox Traders use their incendiary grenades in the early game. Quite often using them to win engagements in the early game, to hold on to a territory, to win territory. And then that territory will end up paying off the munitions as the game goes on. The half track hasn't seen too much action so far, hasn't been terribly effective with it, I feel. But yeah, this is a very large map. It'll be hard to cover it all. With the flak half track, and the M20 is very mobile. Very fast light vehicle. Do a bit of repairing and capping. No, he's okay, he does want to repair and cap, but pathing there. Back half track forcing the squad away from the Kubel. Delaying it quite a lot actually. Seeing RoyalHants transition into breakthrough, gets himself a squad of Fusiliers. Generally as OKW you do need like an extra squad of infantry if you're going for the Kubel. Sometimes, you know, you can call him a Fallschirmjäger. If you've got off to a really strong start, maybe you just hold out, save for some overs, but RoyalHants are going for the Panzer Fusiliers. Flak half track starting to get a bit more damage done here. Oh, he's got the Kubel on his sights though. Is he going to try bait him over the shoe mine that he planted earlier? Don't know if the lieutenant that was over here spotted it or not. Looks like he's not taking the bait though. We're focused on these stern pioneers. Kubel comes in for some rear armor hits here. Just a little bit of damage done. 20 is not going to be baited though, playing very conservatively with it. 20, you know, it does scale pretty well into the late game for a light vehicle. Has a very good line of sight. Well, straight from stock it has a very good line of sight, but then gains a bonus. V3. No, V1 even. And of course has access to the strongest, or yeah, most likely strongest AT mine in the game. Oh, he gets out of there in the nick of time. Did not even pop smoke, which is quite greedy, I feel, but gets away with it. Gets away with the M20. Where you get those mines have the immobilize on them, those modified M6 mines.
A capture point is under attack.
STGs now on these Fox Grenadiers mean they win these engagements quite handily against the riflemen now. Tobis is floating a lot of munitions, hasn't got any weapon upgrades himself. And is starting to fall behind as a result in these infantry engagements. See a cut off here as well from RoyalHants collecting the fuel, so he's going to be getting double fuel quite shortly. Whoa. Oh, big sneeze. Fortunately, just find themselves in a tricky position here. Tried to stall inside the garrison, but the M20 doesn't get much damage done those first two bursts. Decides not to chase. Be careful. Oh, he's going to drive right in here. Oh, the squad was just a little bit too low. He had to be careful because if he drove in there, took a Faust, Black Half Track right here could come over, get the kill on it quite easily, but he banked on the fact that it was low enough health that if he went for the Faust, he would risk losing the squad. Bit of a gamble though. Paid off. Quite a few shoe mines over here for RoyalHants. Kind of shows the strength of his munitions control this game that he's got. Most of his squad's upgraded with weapons and planted quite a few mines, thrown an incendiary grenade. There's a lot of munitions this game. This G43 Fusiliers doing some really good damage here behind the heavy cover. These riflemen just don't stand a chance. Getting in a nice position again. M20 forced away for repairs once more. It's hit Vet 1 though. It's got that sight bonus.
Point is under attack.
Haven't seen the Greyhound from Tobis because not quite at 5 CPs. He's floating a tremendous amount of resources though. Must be thinking some kind of aggressive Greyhound strategy. But whilst he tries to get to 5 CPs, he is losing a lot of territory here. Suffering the triple cap, struggling to hold on to fuel. In this case, it's kind of been a little bit of a slower game, kind of favouring RoyalHants here. Because, you know, we're quite deep into the game and it was only just hitting 5 CPs now. Calls in the Greyhound immediately. Upgrading it with the machine gun as well. This thing is really, really strong. Bringing the sweepers along with him. Nice preparation. Ooh, oh man, just wasn't paying attention to that squad. Loses his G43 Fusiliers. Loses his Kubel too. Big losses for RoyalHants. Runs over a mine with a squad. My sweepers trying to round up any remaining mines. Don't spot them though. But that was a pretty good push for Tobis. Picking up a squad. Gains a decent chunk of territory. After it outmatched here. Tobis has also spent all of his munitions now. He's equipped a lot of bars on his squads. Should have done this quite a lot earlier. However. Trying to get the Faust off there. Kitten's in a nice position. Oh, that rifle went down. The rifle is retreating through here, the middle here, went down. Pretty much back to even in terms of wipes. Uh-oh, got out too close to the front lines. No, it's alright. Pathfinder's doing a good job holding the line here. This MG already low on health. He's going to be getting so many snipes. And there's critical hits. So for the, what is it, the INR Pathfinders, I think they have one of the sniper rifles, which snipe models when they get to 50% health. Whereas the Pathfinders from Airborne have two of them. With here, actually having one of them is perhaps slightly better. What I'm told by people who understand weapon stats. Seeing Tobis paradropping in the AT gun and paratroopers. These are going to be nice, but doesn't have enough munitions for the weapon upgrades at the moment. I expect all those munitions on the bars. Being very aggressive with his E-mate, just driving it in, soaking up the Fausts, spending a lot of time acquiring repairs. Hasn't had much of an impact this game, coming so late and acquiring repairs so many times. Not the kind of impact you'd hope with the Greyhound. Usually it's a very devastating unit. Pathfinder's outmatched here. It's the incendiary grenade. Greyhound trying to take on the flak half-track front elites. Pretty close match though. Main gun destroyed. Lieutenant can't really contribute, doesn't have an anti-tank grenade. Oh, and that's going to be a wipe. No, somehow not. Thought that grenade would do more damage. They're going to chase him down though. Oh, when they pick him off at long range. Lieutenant goes down, and here comes the Panzer IV. M20 drives in, he jumps out. Gonna try and make use of the bazooka. He really wants to save the Greyhound. P4 misses the killing blow on it. Takes engine damage now on his Panzer IV. Takes out the M20. Bazooka crew retreats. But I suppose Tobis made the most of a bad situation there. Only losing his M20, doesn't even lose the vehicle crew. He's got a Sherman coming in shortly himself, so we got a lot worse for him. Still, he is super low on VPs, 59 remaining. Really needs to do something about this triple cap. He's been focusing on those resources, but needs to switch his focus to VPs big time. And yeah. This is hard. I think Tobis had a problem because he's fighting for so long against STG ultra-screeners with just standard riflemen, and those engagements going so poorly for him led to a lot of lost engagements and then poor map control on the back of it. Making use of the ray tactics on his Greyhound. Also neutralize this in the middle. Gets rid of the machine gun. Flak half-track's there, but the Sherman's there as well. Got two Raketans. Can they stop this Sherman? Flak half-track sets up again. Oh, but the Faust hits slightly too early for engine damage on the Sherman. And the Sherman's gonna snake away. Super low health. Faust just hit slightly before that Raketen hit. Didn't end up getting the engine damage as a result. Wasn't at the HP threshold there. P4 backing away. Getting some goods. Model snipes on its way back. Now under protection of the tier 4, should be very safe back there. Tobis' push comes to an end, and once again he's lost control of the VP, 17 remaining. Definitely has to hold strong in the middle here. Greyhound comes back in. Figures out the kitten over here. We're going to have to use the raid. Oh, he doesn't have any munitions for the raid tactics. He's going to have to go with the old-fashioned decrew. Oh! The last MG burst clears out the Raketen. That was so lucky. 10 points left for Tobis. Can he hang on? In these situations you really need machine guns. He's got that stolen MG34. It's going to help him control the VPs. RoyalHants has been really slow getting this P4 back to working condition. Hasn't got the upgrade on Stern Pioneers either. Which is, you know, not super important, I suppose, but... Oh, man. Oh, man. Sherman knocks it out. He wasn't even on high explosive. He was using the AP ammo. Just basically one hits the Raketen there. That is horrible luck for RoyalHants. Now 2 Raketens over here, decrewed. Looks like he's going to back away, do some capping whilst repairing. Rifleman closing in to try and steal those Raketens away. P4 finally has the engine damage removed, but that took so long. Really need that Stern Pioneer repair speed upgrade. Some good damage onto that Rifleman. Is that a rebuilt Rifleman? Yeah, Vet 0 must be. Yeah, because he only went 3 rifles into Lieutenant. So yeah, rebuilt Rifleman, I suppose. Tobis perhaps wants a certain density of Riflemen so he can always have snares available. The AT grenade. Looks like that number is 3.
We're losing a capture point.
Multiple fronts. RoyalHants getting the VP over here with the machine gun. Very vulnerable to vehicles though. Doesn't have a Raketen over there. Greyhound in here doing some damage. Oh, that's an unfortunate retreat path, and he just gets slaughtered. Panzer IV really needs to come over here and deal with this Greyhound. Doesn't have enough munitions for anti-tank grenades. Could be about to lose another squad here. Oh no, maybe he had the anti-tank grenade queued up. Comes through. But here come 2 Shermans. Got the Panzer IV in their sights. About facing, trying to get his frontal armor in the correct direction. But already taking crazy amounts of damage. Shermans kind of get lucky with their penetrations from the front. 1 Sherman for 1 Panzer IV. Pretty good trade for the US forces played. Raketen gets decrewed so quickly by the Rifleman. Rifleman toss out anti-tank grenade, but doesn't get the snare, doesn't meet the health threshold, and all of a sudden RoyalHants has lost so much. Lost his Raketen, lost a squad before, lost one of his P4s. Tobis' army supply a bit lower at the moment, but only because he's decrewed his vehicles. Once they're recrewed, should be quite firmly in the lead. Greyhound already repaired back up in fighting condition. Oh, but maybe not for long. Rakitten's also been recruited. Sherman coming through, penetrating from the front. Rakitten can't decide what to shoot at. Decides to try shoot at the Greyhound. Second Rakitten behind there. Ooh. Out of control Sherman. Did he just crush a squad with it? My god, this has been a chaotic last few minutes. But it looks like Tobis is hanging in there. Greyhound still out here, still doing the damage. Oh! Finally goes down, runs over that mine that's been there for a long time. It's abandoned, but will it be stolen? No, he just gets the Faust. Definitely wants that dead. Whew. Wild match here. Bit of downtime now. RoyalHants still didn't get the sweeper upgrade. Really strapped for munitions. Been lobbing so many anti-tank grenades. I can close in. Should be able to win this now. No, toss out a grenade. Easily dodged. Double bars on these riflemen. I think they should be able to beat these Fox Grenadiers. Need to continue closing in though. Fox Grenadiers making use of the heavy cover here. These riflemen refuse to drop a model. Puts out another grenade. This is why he doesn't have munitions for other things. He's up winning the engagement as the riflemen run onto the negative cover there. Drop a lot of models, have to retreat. It was a close engagement though. Maybe if he closed in a little bit earlier. But it's always hard sometimes to dodge those incendiary grenades. They are very annoying. I'm glad they added this slight fuse timer to them. That's for sure. Our troopers still haven't been upgraded. Before getting a nice long-range penetrating hit there. Sherman has to stay on armor piercing, doesn't want to risk getting rushed down by the P4. Oh! Riflemen go down. He's just desperate to hold on to this VP. Sending a squad over to this side. It's the Major, and because it's Vet 3, it's got the out-of-combat passive sprint. Gets to the VP quite quickly. I think he'll be able to get the neutralize here. Probably not the cap with the machine gun there though. RoyalHants also making use of the breakthrough. It's the faster neutralize on territory. Ooh. Got an M1 over here. We had a bit of cluster bomb action in the middle. P4 now goes rear armor exposed, but there is a Rakitten right here. Rakitten does not spot it. Main gun destroy critical. Oh, that is super unlucky for RoyalHants. P4 goes down. Sherman still has to navigate his way past the Rakitten, and Rakitten's not even going to try kill him. And all of a sudden, man, RoyalHants is so unlucky that Rakitten just didn't quite have vision on the Sherman as it passed through the arc until too late. And then main gun destroyed. RoyalHants perhaps could have played that a little bit better, leaving his rear armor exposed there, but still quite unfortunate for him. So now Tobis does have a pretty decent army size lead, but still only 7 VPs to go. This would be a mad game if he manages to hold on. Paratroopers now, even without the weapon upgrades at Vet 2, are pretty strong. So are the Vet 3 Fusiliers. There's Pathfinders out here, providing a bit of reconnaissance. They also have quite good line of sight. Pathfinder's actually doing a really good job here in long range. Sherman comes through with the HE equipped now. Has taken down the last P4. Switches over to the HE rounds to maximize the anti-infantry. Continually just probing on this flank with the Major. I mean, it's not super combat effective and does have the sprint, so being forced to retreat doesn't really matter because he can just sprint back out to the front lines quite easily. Doesn't cost him much time. I'm just going for another Sherman. RoyalHants with the Panzer IV again. So, RoyalHants, I feel like his Raketen positioning has let him down so far this game. See if he can improve it. Not in camouflage here either, which is a mistake. Okay, now switches over. So he's going to try creep up through this lane, perhaps. Try sneak a kill on this Sherman. No, he's just inching it forwards into a more aggressive position. Second Sherman now on the field. Coming around the other side. This is going to be hard for Hunts to deal with. Oh my god! Immediate! 3 models down, probably going to wipe that machine gun now. No, he's going after the Panzer IV, having to switch rounds now. Oh, but long range, the Sherman still connects. But this one misses close range. P4 bounces. No anti-tank grenade. Gets it off now. But once again, the Raketens not used terribly effectively here for RoyalHants. And Tobis gets away with it. Both his Shermans alive. Takes down the Panzer IV. Just RoyalHants exposing his rear armor once again. Ineffective Raketen usage once again. Tobis capitalizes. He's also pretty well done for Tobis, making good use of his anti-tank gun, which was in a pretty nice position there. I think he's using perhaps take aim as well. And now also sneaking around the side with that bazooka crew, keeping that relevant even into the late game. Drops a bar, loses a rifle squad there. What was that? They did drop down fast, but very easily avoidable loss there. Oh, Sherman just misses. This is a flood of units trying to set up his machine gun now to try and stem the tide. And manages to hang on there. RoyalHants going for double machine guns now, trying to keep back these highly vetted USF squads. But actually, Tobis not going to bother getting another squad, going for a third Sherman. And RoyalHants, you know, we've seen him spamming grenades throughout the match. Hasn't really had time to get any more mines down. Rebuilding his Stern Pioneers now, but really needs some mines. Otherwise these Shermans are going to run amok. In fact, Tobis might even be thinking about going after the tech structure here. We can knock out that before Hans gets his last tank. It may just seal the game. He's positioning himself. Make a bit of a attack on this now. Doesn't have to kill it this time. Oh, he's going to bring in the Major for some major artillery. Because it's the vetted up Major. It's going to have even more shells. Oh, he doesn't even need the Major. He's going to do it the old-fashioned way. Kitten scrambling. But unable to stop it. And now Hans has pretty much lost this game. Well, manages to clear out the M1. Fusiliers in the back line doing some really good damage whilst the Shermans were away. But here comes the third Sherman. And that puts an end to this push. Oh man, those HE rounds are so devastating. Oh, get some crushing action. Oh, these Shermans are just going to town here. Right after the kittens now. One of them takes a Faust, but it was the highest health one, so it doesn't get engine damage. Once again, another poor anti-tank grenade from RoyalHants. Cruise this M1 here. This is pretty much an all-in from Tobis. Loses another Sherman going after another Raketen. Look how low health this Raketen is over here. Gonna clear out one of them. Going after the last one now. Trying to retreat it. Surely it can't survive. Surely not. Okay. It's engine damage on the last Sherman. But he hung in there. Didn't lose the VP. Oh, is he going to lose the last Sherman? Popping smoke. Perhaps not in the best direction here. Could still lose the Sherman. No, he gets out of the arc of the Raketen just in the nick of time. And I think he's going to get away. He's going to be going down the road, so his mobility will be just fine. Should be able to outpace the Raketen, which actually ended up getting decrewed somehow. I'm not sure how exactly, but perhaps he retreated it. No, he just didn't even push up with it. And the Raketen gets stolen by Tobis, but not 100% necessary to steal it because he's not going to be facing against any tanks himself since he destroyed the tier 4, but at least it will deny another Raketen against his own tanks.
Be ready for counterattack.
Trying to destroy the sandbag with his bazookas. And is successful. And it's going to be rebuilt immediately. M1919's over there, finally on the paratroopers. They are doing nasty damage. They're so strong once they get veterancy with those M1919s. Once again, RoyalHants in a tough situation, down on supply. Building some more Fusiliers though. This is machine gun over there before he tries to engage with his Fusiliers, but Sherman puts an end to that.
Tank support is here. Sherman ready.
Steals back this MG before he gets suppressed. Sherman coming in from the side. Is that on arm-piercing rounds though? No. Oh, but he takes heavy damage from those two AT guns. Oh, and he goes down. A little bit of pathing error there around the around the water's edge. Is that costing him? Pathfinder squad's got a bar now. Remember, he picked it up from that deceased rifleman over here, so very lethal squad. I find his veterancy though, you know, it's not super combat oriented. Gets the bonus sight range. That's when it gains a little bit of its combat action. It doesn't have those like huge combat bonuses you see from some other squads. RoyalHants looks like he may want to make an assault from this right hand side. Tobis' this machine gun though covering the center and this avenue into the middle does make it quite hard for Hunts to make a push without running into it. Oh, that's a nice grenade. Oh, when he wipes the squad.
We lost an infantry unit.
Good pick off there for
They got
Hunts.
wiped out.
Airborne returning fire with their own grenade. Even behind heavy cover, they're just getting diced up. That's one thing RoyalHants doesn't have is any indirect fire, so can't deal with these team weapons in the middle. Can't, you know, use ISG smoke or anything to try help him push with. Is limiting his options, just continuously going for Fusiliers and Fusiliers only. Sherman coming in now. T-guns all on the right, none even close to the middle. Bit of a mistake there, I feel.
A capture point is under attack.
Secure your veterans. There are army patrols in the area.
Tobis gonna load up another Sherman. That is the question of the day.
Enemy forces have 100 points remaining.
Calling in the cluster bombs on this machine gun. Little does he know there's also a rocket in here, so that's going to be super effective. Just very late reaction. Lucky that Raketin survived. But Tobis' paratroopers just slicing and dicing. They're so strong now. M1 packs up, then resets up. Bounces its first shell though. Unlucky. X again. Jim's going to need to pull back for repairs. Tobis keeping the pressure on here though. Not allowing Hunts any breathing room, keeping his army in check. $77 VPs left.
75 points remaining.
And Tobis hasn't really been getting the triple cap, but you know, every now and then getting the neutralized over here, so trying to speed up the end of the game, because you know, when you're 7 VPs you can lose the game just like that. And perhaps Hunts did have an opportunity to come over here, defended only by one rear echelon, especially because he's got these Vet 5 Fusiliers, which also have the passive sprint out of combat. Easily could defeat these rear echelon, perhaps with the help of the breakthrough tactics. Get the cap off quick enough. Drain the last few VPs. Perhaps got a little bit tunnel visioned. And this is why Tobis needs to keep the pressure on to try and stop Hunts from thinking of these other routes for victory. But yeah, with that was a quits, and that's the game. Tobis grinds his way back into this one with some superior tank play. Honestly, Hunts' anti-tank gun positioning, his snaring, and his just tank positioning as well, constantly having his rear armor facing the wrong direction, cost him this match. Well, I'll wrap on that, guys. If you'd like your game to be cast by me, details in the video description below. Otherwise, I'll catch you all for the next thrilling installment. Goodbye and good luck.